Recording.
Hello.
Back again.
Back again. 24 hours later, we're back
again.
doing this
Ooh,
recording. Welcome to Two Black Girls, One Rose.
Where two black-ass girls invade the whitest show on earth.
Bachelor in Paradise.
Yay! We're done with the Bachelorette.
Yes.
Thank you, Jesus.
Oh my God.
Ooh, moving on to greener pastures.
Yep. Sandy
We're in
beaches.
Sunny, sandy beaches. Good-looking guys.
Mm-hmm.
Some old faces. It's exciting,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
Yes. So let's just start off, this is Justine's first Paradise, everybody.
Yep. I'm Justine, by the way. That's Natasha.
Yeah, I guess we got to do that again. People keep I thought people had us figured out by now, but apparently
They don't.
I'm not as big in my head as I think I am.
My accent isn't as horrid as I think it is.
Y'all still don't know who the hell we are. I'm Natasha. I am Natasha. In the avatar, I'm the one with the afro, the hair, the big hair.
And
that is me.
I'm the one with the braids. I'm Justine.
Yes. So Justine, this was her first time watching Paradise.
Mm-hmm.
Paradise is very beloved by Bachelor Nation fans.
I think. Yeah.
Because it's a nice, messy summer show.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like a world away a little bit from Bachelor and Bachelorette, which is so kind of buttoned up and trying to be all, serious with itself.
Yeah.
So tell me, what are your initial thoughts?
So my initial thoughts is that all these producers can go suck my dick, okay?
What?
Every last one of them. Here's why. Here's why. I was with it when they were all like meeting each other, like, oh hey guys, oh it's gonna be so much fun. We're on the beach in Mexico. I even let go that Chris Hemsworth. What is that man's name? Chris Harrison.
He wish.
Chris Harrison said it's going to be caliente. I let that go.
Okay.
And then when they showed Nisha in the pool with with Jordan, I was done after that. I was done.
Why?
I am so finished with the black girl looking unattainable and unwanted. I'm finished. Done. Done. I'm on my soapbox now. I don't get up on here too often, guys. But I'm on here now. I'm on here today, okay? Mm-hmm. The black woman in these shows, particularly on contest reality shows, are undesirable, unattainable. They can never be compatible with anybody else, especially anybody white. And the white man in this situation, Jordan, literally gets to prance around in gold underpants. And we are still supposed to believe that he's like a sexy figure and that he can find love.
Oh, hell
and
no.
that, like, we're still supposed to believe that, though. That's still the agenda. The agenda is that Jordan is still attainable and still desirable. And that Nisha, she just got there and said hello. And they're like, ooh, look at Nisha over there. No chemistry. I'm done. I'm sick of it. They could have chosen so many other clips. They could have chosen fucking White Josiah with anyone because he looks like he brought his own separate drugs to Mexico and is on them. And we're
was rolling. He was on Molly or something.
Definitely, without a doubt. And we're just supposed to look at this fucking Family Dollar Zoolander and supposed to be like with it and all up in his love story. I can't deal with it. I'm not doing it no more. These Bachelor producers, they get my Becky of the Lifetime Part 2. I'm done. And that's what I think of Bachelor in Paradise. What do you think, friend?
Wow. Yeah. Here's the thing. I can't take these shows seriously. Like, in this way. I mean, the reason we started this podcast was really to talk about, like, the lack of representation in this show that has somehow gotten away for the last 30 years of being just so, like, blatantly unrepresentative of anything that isn't white. So, like, seeing Nisha, sitting in the pool, looking unattainable, it's just like, watch it. This is what they do. Not to say that makes it right. This is just along the same pattern. I don't have higher expectations for the producers because they've been proving us wrong already. And then, when you think about it, of all the seasons that there's only been token black people. Token here, about 2 here on this season, 2 here on that season. And so when it comes time to Paradise, they're going to be token there as well. So, like, in our heads, or we would want them to be, because Paradise is supposed to be, like, the place for everyone to redeem themselves, and everyone gets a fair chance at love. But that's not going to be the case, because if there's only been token people of color on every other season, when it comes down to Paradise, they're also going to be token. And so it's just, like, one more of the same. I'm not saying this is all right. This isn't all right. This is exactly why we talk about this shit. But I hear your frustrations. I can't. I gotta pick and choose my battles. Yes. This is self-care. I'm going back to that. This is my self-care. I just can't, because I would be pissed the whole time, because the whole time I'm watching the show, I want to see, where's Wills? Where's Eric? Wills? Where's Venmo John? Like, show me those people. I don't care about Jordan's love story. I don't care about Tia. I'm so tired of this Tia thing. Like,
I'm so tired of Tia.
I'm so tired of that. Show us some other love stories of other people that didn't get shine on their season. What's the point of bringing them on Paradise if they didn't get any shine on their season? Isn't supposed to get them a little bit more shine here. But no, we're still focused on the same people as always. Yeah. So, I don't know. I try to watch this show. It's super campy and a messy summer show, and I leave it in that box that it is, and I don't expect nothing more from it. And that's that. But I totally hear you. And as someone watching it for the first time, I can see how you're like, oh, Nisha's going to be there. Eric's going to be there. Yes. We all, it's a big party.
Wills is going to be there with a full head of cornrows. Let's go. Let's do this.
We're going to see them all the time. And I know that you were probably very disappointed because we didn't see them at all.
So I was appalled. I was like, first of all, why is she the only black woman? There's like 8 black dudes here. What is going on?
They pulled the Lauren G. They pulled the Lauren G.
I know, but there were less oh, no. Never mind.
They threw one in the house.
Yeah.
So, yeah. My initial thoughts on a happier note.
Okay, yes, let's move on. I'm off my soapbox now. Sorry.
A happier note, Joe the Grocer is so goddamn good looking.
My God, he is so fine. Jesus.
So fine. And there's nothing better / annoying at the same time than a gorgeous guy who, like, doesn't know at all what he looks like. And is just so endearing and just a nice guy. But it's, like, annoying and frustrated because the whole time you're like, he's attainable, though. This is weird. Right. He's hot but so attainable. How do I slide in there? Like, the whole time you're just masterminding how to slide yourself in. Into his heart, but then you can't get in there because there's 10 other girls who are literally going through the same thing. Oh my God, he's hot, but he's attainable. How do I get in there? And everybody's like converging on the guy.
And he's like, yeah, she's pretty. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, she's nice. She's pretty.
She's a nice girl.
And everyone around the island is just like, oh my God, trying to strategize how to like have breakfast with Joe. Oh my God. I had a guy in college who, same thing. I used to see him from afar. He was so gorgeous. So many girls had crushes on him. I didn't even learn his name. I saw him from afar from like freshman year. I didn't really learn his name until like sophomore year. And then senior year, we were in the same student organization. And I finally got to meet him and like get to know him. And he was like Joe. He was like so gorgeous, so naturally nice, and like very genuine guy. Aww. And it was weird. It was like you weren't expecting that of him. And you're like, whoa, there's like a weird like attainableness to him. But he ain't checking for me because there's 95 girls like around the block. Everybody is trying to mastermind this dude. Like, really, like, just brought me right back to that. That was the first thing I wanted to say. Second thing, I kind of already said it. I'm so over this Colton and Tia drama.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so done with Tia in particular. Just, honestly, spreading her propaganda. That's how I see it. Because I know a lot of people can't stand Colton. A lot of people can't stand Tia either. But I'm particularly annoyed with Tia on this episode here because I feel like she had the advantage by getting to the island early. and was able to just preach her propaganda about Colton. So by the time he came, he just looked like a straight fuck nigga the whole time. Like, he couldn't, he could never come in a good light because she was already marching around the island talking about this is her soulmate. And last thought, so excited to see Venmo John living his best life.
Right?
So excited. He is out here. I feel like he missed spring break every year while he was in college.
Every year. He was coding.
Because he was coding, right. He was building, like, apps
robots.
And, like, creating websites and shit. Yeah. And so he's just, you know, getting to redeem himself and live out his college spring break dreams, and I'm fully here for it. So those were my thoughts.
Nice.
Okay, so before we get into the recap, it's going to be a long episode, guys.
Yeah.
I have a feeling.
Yeah.
Before we get into the episode recap, we do want to wrap up Becca's season. Bring the energy back down.
Yeah, do some cleanup. Do some cleanup.
It's been a full 24 hours now since we watched that tragic train wreck at the end. And so we've been able to kind of like sit on it a little bit. More things have come out, to read a little bit more. So we just wanted to give like our final takeaways and thoughts and then move right along. So first and foremost, I want to say, has anyone checked on Blake?
Oh my God.
Is Blake okay? That is my first concern.
Yeah.
How is Blake's heart doing? How is he doing? Someone check on him, please. The second thing, so going into the season, like, everybody was rooting for Becca. You know, she got played in the most ultimate way. She got done dirty by Ari last season. And so she was given this opportunity to kind of, like, have her love story, and everybody's rooting for her. Even though me and you, I remember we said, we like Becca, she's nice, but this isn't the Bachelorette season we want to see.
No.
Like, can we see anybody else? But okay, we'll go with this. She deserves love too, yada yada. So they give us this, you know, Midwestern, all-American girl, and we ended up with the all-American ending. I mean, we ended up exactly where it kind of makes sense, where we ended up at. At the end of the day, like, she chose her happiness. That's her business. She looks crazy to the rest of us. It made me think of, does anybody watch Millionaire Matchmaker? Did you watch Millionaire Matchmaker?
Yeah.
I love Patty. Live by Patty's words.
Yeah, still do.
Still do. As Patty would say, I think her picker is off. And she might have been better suited on a show like a Millionaire Matchmaker, where somebody else chooses for her. Because something's off with Becca's picker. Between Ross, Ari, and Garrett,
Oof.
she's 3 for 3.
3 duds.
3 duds. Like, 3 for 3. I also feel like this ending, the feeling of it, in terms of, like, Bachelor Nation, was very, very similar to Ari's season. And that no one was happy outside of Becca and Garrett.
Yeah.
It was like watching Ari's ending, where Ari and Lauren B are sitting on the couch, all happy as can be, and, like, the rest of the world is sitting there like, this is garbage.
Yeah.
So Becca and Garrett happy, the producers happy, the studio audience full of these damn, like, middle-aged Stepford wives, they're all happy.
Yeah.
If you're happy for Garrett, you're part of the problem.
Wow.
That's all I gotta say. And I'll just throw this in quickly. We, like, literally just, like, 5 minutes ago, someone on Twitter sent us Garrett and Becca. They did an interview with Variety where they went into, like, the content of the memes, finally, of the things that he was liking on Instagram. His story now is that, you know, I'm patriotic. I support the troops. I was following accounts that are similarly patriotic. You know, I would double tap if I see a man in uniform. That's, you know, what I was supporting. It doesn't actually I don't actually believe in what the memes stand for. He's claiming he never read the captions on some of the memes. Like, literally, he's claiming this.
I don't read? That's what he's claiming?
Well, he doesn't know how to read, so actually, this might be true. He's claiming he didn't read all the captions. He also claimed, because he liked that meme that was accusing David Hogg, of being a crisis actor. He claims he doesn't even know what a crisis actor is.
See, that's not surprising.
I mean, I'm not at all surprised by that. Claims he didn't know what it was. Becca had to teach him. Like, I just can't. Becca was sitting there next to him looking like, the two of them look like Tweedledee, Tweedledum.
I mean,
like,
yeah, that's what they want to be in that Winnebago that they won. And, you know, they're going to drive off into the Idaho potatoes or wherever they're going to live.
Idaho potatoes. Oh my god. Another ending of a Bachelor franchise just is behind us.
Yes.
The franchise clearly has a lot of work to do. Mm-hmm. This season in particular. We thought Rachel's season was bad with all the scandals and shit. This season in particular was just messy. They need to go back to the drawing board and rethink casting, vetting, the whole format of the show. The idea of the lead being cut off from social media and just presented these guys and not able to like know anything about it's just not realistic. It's 2018. Yeah. Now when you're dating people, you know their whole history when you Google them. Mm-hmm. So the fact that they need to integrate social media or something into it needs to be refreshened. And this season being a train wreck is proof of that. That's my thoughts.
Okay.
What about you?
So I only have one thought that I didn't say last night, but I wanted to think on it for a second. But I have a theory as to why Becca did pick Garrett over Blake, aside from everything she said. And I think it was coded in the words fly fishing. Mm-hmm. So I have never lost a parent. I don't know what that's like. I have lost people who are close to me, and I am constantly grasping for signs that they are watching, guiding me, all of these other things. Mm-hmm. And that desperation, I can only imagine, would be 150 times more if I had lost a parent. So for her to see that so clearly in Garrett, and have no other family or friends around to talk to, it was probably, she was like, okay, this is the only sign I got. This is what I got to go with. Because probably deep in her soul, she felt like her dad was telling her, this is the one who's going to keep you safe. You know?
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
So that's my theory. Not defending Becca, per se, but just understanding her reality.
Trying to understand. Right.
So yeah, that's what I think. Because I was kind of not feeling bad, but feeling like, okay, why did she do this? Like, realistically, why would she?
Trying to understand. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And that's like when we talked about last episode where when Garrett brought up that his mother and his grandfather like suffered from cancer, and I'm like, that would have been a nice thing to know.
Right.
I mean, as a viewer, I still would not fuck with Garrett to the very end, but still nice to know in terms of the progression of their love story, because I'm sitting at the end like, how does she choose Garrett? I don't understand it.
Right.
It's not enough for me to say the fly fishing and the dad. Like, I need other things in there to kind of build his story for me. And that little tidbit could have at least helped us draw to the conclusion, like, oh, okay, maybe they do have similarities in experiences, or, you know, he suffered with a parent who had cancer, she lost a parent with cancer.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, I totally see that.
Yeah. So that's my final thoughts.
Okay. Another little thing I wanted to talk about quickly about the finale. So Miss Rachel Lindsay, she's been writing a recap every episode of The Bachelorette for Us Weekly. And so today she released her recap on the finale. And she was not a happy camper.
Listen, your girl went off, okay?
My girl went off.
AUFF. She went off.
AUFF. She went off. So she was not a happy camper. Her feelings actually have nothing really to do with like Blake versus Garrett. She's more pissed at how the producers chose to roll out Becca's love story and her ending versus how they chose to roll out her love story and her ending. So what Rachel was saying in the article, she said, you know, while we don't agree with Becca choosing Garrett, we can see why she did. We saw their love story. We know we got to see their emotions for each other. Like, sure, Garrett's a fucking turd, but we can regardless of that, we can kind of like see the love between them. And I mean, we kind of understand Becca now as this Midwestern white woman who's just looking for her little Midwestern white man. So we're like, all right, we get it. We're not shocked that she chose Garrett. But for Rachel and Brian's love story, totally different.
Yeah.
In terms of her mainly her finale, also the progression of their love story, but mainly their finale.
Yeah.
With Rachel, if we go back and remember, her finale was almost 93% focused on her breakup with Peter.
Yeah, and the whole 5 hours was so much of Peter's dates with her, too. There wasn't a whole lot of Brian content, I remember.
There wasn't.
Yeah.
Brian didn't get a lot of screen time at all in that finale episode. And so, I mean, take it from us, Peter is my husband. I literally call him this. I'm obviously a Peter sympathizer. We've clowned Brian in the past. But reading Rachel's article, it kind of put into perspective that, like, the editing really steered us in this way. Like, the editing of the show, like, and I'll be the first to admit, as I said, fucking love Peter, but I also know that I love him because the editing told me to love him.
Yes, yes.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And, like, aside from, you know, Peter, you know, being beautiful, one thing I liked about his character, the person, is that he was, like, a realist in this world of, like, make-believe. You know, during the finale, we see him breaking down. We see Peter in this tearful goodbye. We see this long, stretched-out breakup scene. And, like, we see essentially the dissolve of this relationship that, as viewers, we all thought was just perfect.
Oh, my God. We're so invested, yeah.
So invested. And then literally in the next scene, Brian gets on one knee proposing. And the whole thing was off because, as you said, Brian had very, very little screen time in that finale. It was a fraction of Peter's screen time. And so all you could really think was, fuck Brian.
Yeah.
You had no choice.
Yeah.
We really had no choice in the matter.
And fuck Rachel.
And and we said fuck Rachel because we were so invested in Peter and this breakup and the this and the that. And so it's like you have to question. She didn't really go into this in her article, but I was thinking this after. You have to really question why they chose to edit it in that way and why we didn't really get insight into Brian and his development of their love aside from like their physical connection. I think I know the answer.
Really?
To that question. It all comes down to money.
Oh.
When the producers looked at Peter, they saw their next Bachelor and they saw dollar signs.
Yep.
If Peter was the Bachelor, that would have 100% been the highest rated season they ever had.
Oh my God, 1,000%.
Ever had. Yeah. So they were making sure to end him on a positive note in hopes of him being the next Bachelor. But they did all of that at the expense of Rachel.
Yeah, right.
And so Rachel, what she's saying in her article is she didn't say all of this, but they essentially threw her and her love story and her chance of a happy ending on TV under the bus in exchange for them, putting a bet on Peter being the next Bachelor. And so, that kind of stood out to me. I was like, oh shit, that really made me think a bit differently about kind of that whole, how that whole thing played out.
Yeah.
Rachel also pointed out how, on her finale, they did the whole mashup of the after the final rose and the finale. It was all in one. They had Rachel sitting on the couch watching the finale, and then Chris Harrison, in real time, was asking her questions about her emotions.
It was awful. It was awful.
It was awful. And then we had to watch her confront Peter, who literally is painted to look like an angel who fell from heaven. And so any response that she gave him on that couch, she immediately was looked at like a bitch.
And he didn't say things that were nice to her, but we believed them so thoroughly because of how that editing played out. Saying that somebody's gonna have a mediocre life sitting on live TV, that is rude.
Yeah.
That's cold-blooded. That's
right.
pretty bad.
When you take it out and look at it, that's rude.
Yeah, but we were all like, yeah, that's right. Fuck Brian. That's fucking right, Peter.
Right, because we have a camera up in his nostrils with the fucking tears dropping. He's looking all sad. No one likes to see a man cry. We see this most beautiful man on earth crying. Like, we all got duped.
We did.
We got duped, yo. So Rachel, this article was great. She really changed my whole thing. So she was saying she was mad watching Becca's ending. She was mad to see that she was denied her on-camera happy ending. Mm-hmm. And she said, quote, "Becca was protected and I was placed on display for 3 hours and labeled an angry black female."
Whew.
Oh. Speaking some truth, Rachel.
Yep.
Speaking some truth. It's so true.
Oh my God.
And she also said, quote, "I think Becca said it best last night when she summed up her season. She stated, 'I love the fact that people can see our love story.' Mm-hmm. Have you heard me talk about the biggest regret from my season? I say, I wish people could have seen the essence of my love story with Brian." Mm-hmm. And that is so true. If you read any interview with Rachel, she has said that so many times.
Really?
That her biggest regret or her biggest disappointment with the show is that no one got to see her love story with Brian.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We saw them making out all the time. We saw kind of like superficial stuff, but we didn't get to see the development of their love story in the way that we saw her development with Peter, actually, which is why we were also devastated when she broke up with Peter. Mm-hmm. And so, really good article. Y'all go check it out. It really made me rethink just like everything about just the whole ending of that season. And I mean, I still love Peter to death, but now I know that my love was orchestrated by the fucking puppet masters. Damn Bachelor producers got me, y'all.
You know what it also made me think about? How much we can distort the media that we choose to absorb. Because when I was reading that, and she was like, yeah, we can understand how Becca picked Garrett. I was like, girl, who is we? Because everybody on my Twitter was outraged.
Hella confused.
So, but her being someone who, A, has to work and is working this 15 minutes of fame into a solid 30. And I absolutely love it. And then B, is really on the front lines of the media, like taking in all of the shit and taking every single bomb from every different type of viewer on the show. We only follow and pay attention to certain types of people, basically, because we have the option to. And she doesn't have that option. And so, I can see how she can
fire from everyone.
Yep, from everybody. So from her perspective, most people can totally see Becca and Garrett working, and they understood it the night of. When in our reality, that's not what happened. So for her to take all those bombs, I definitely understand why she went off today. Yeah, she went off. Yep. And that's sad, because watch it. I mean, she took a lot of shit for Brian. And we gave her a lot of shit. Sure did.
And Brian, we clowned Brian to the fucking very end. Still do Peter updates and shit. Like, she took a lot of shit, and that must suck to sit on the couch with your fiance that no one can stand, and you're watching Becca literally choose a walking MAGA hat, and she gets like this whole beautiful edit at the end, and you're like, what the fuck gives? So everyone go check out Rachel's recap Us Weekly. Really, really well written.
Yeah, really good
perspective. Loved it. So that's the end of that. We're done with Becca. We're done with Bachelorette.
Done.
We're moving full steam ahead. So before we get to the recap, Bachelor Paradise, just reminding y'all while we're here. Quickly, let me just put out there, rate, review, subscribe. Please, please, please. If you haven't done that already, that really helps us out. So please do that. Hit us up on Twitter. Our handle, the number 2 BLK Girls, the number 1 Rose.
Or you can email or you can email us at the number 2 Black Girls, the number 1 Rose at gmail.com.
And so moving right along, we do have some church announcements. Church announcements. Been a while, but we do have them. What we got, Justine?
So we have emails, some really good ones this week from Michaela. who's just giving us some love. She's from Brooklyn, so shout out to Michaela. Shout out to Brooklyn.
Hey.
Tony and Augustine, shout out to you guys. And then we also got an email from a Lauren B. Not the Lauren B, but a different Lauren B from New Zealand. So shout out to New Zealand. Yes.
Shout out.
So cool. And then we got another email from a listener named Karen that I'd like to maybe go over a bit. Oh, so Karen said that she has a hard time understanding our references and our like weekly kind of awards that we give out. Mm-hmm. So just for reference, for Becca's season, it was the Becca You Ain't Shit Award. No, sorry. Damn, I hate her already. Damn. It was the...
Just made that in your head right now.
Sorry.
Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah. It's the Niggas You Ain't Shit Award. The Becca You Aight moment. Now, that translates to all right. If you can't understand that either. Okay? Mm-hmm. And then there's the escape to Wakanda moment. If you don't know what Wakanda is, turn this off.
Yeah, we can't help you there. Yeah. But she had me laughing. Karen had me laughing because she said,
yes.
Get me to a condo.
A condo or a convent. Karen, when I tell you I was howling.
Laughing. Oh my God.
Oh,
hilarious.
Man. Yep, hilarious. So Karen, thank you for giving us the laugh. It was great, and hope you're a little bit clearer now. Hope everybody's a little clearer. Anybody who was mistaken, I hope you guys. Mm-hmm.
UrbanDictionary.com.
Yeah, that'll do it. That's it. Mm-hmm. And that's it for church announcements.
All right. So we do have some Bachelor Nation news.
Yep.
So on another grim note.
No, back on the soapbox, guys.
God, The Bachelor used to be like fun. What happened to the fun?
I don't know what it's like to have a fun Bachelor show.
That's true, because you started from Rachel's season when they cast a full-out racist on the show. So you missed the days of the fun.
Yeah.
Got nothing but mess.
Nope.
Mess and controversy. Good Lord.
Mm-hmm.
So, more controversy coming out from Becca's season. We said we're done with Becca, but whatever. We still have more. Leo and this sexual harassment scandal.
Well, Leo's also Bachelor in Paradise, so it ties in.
True. Okay, we're segueing. Yes. Mm-hmm. So, a huge scandal this last week with Leah and Leo and these sexual harassment allegations coming forward. So Becca Martinez, baby Becca from Ari's season, she shared a series of screenshots on her Instagram story detailing inappropriate behavior between Leo and a boatload of women.
A lot of people.
A lot of women who basically DM'd Becca with screenshots and stories of just bad experiences that they've had with Leo. Mm-hmm. And so, just a kind of a quick rundown of what it was. 8 to 10 women reported receiving unsolicited dick pics from him. Ranging from several years ago to as recent as 3 months ago. A month ago. Next, 3 separate women reported or told Becca that their younger teenage sisters were hit on by him at Universal Studios, where he works. Ew. And he followed / messaged them on social media, also ranging between the last several months, like very recent. There was a comment that he made on a woman's photo on Instagram where he said, "You need my big dick." Mm-hmm. He is claiming that photo was photoshopped.
Oh.
Although multiple people have come forward and like screenshotted it and said, "Nah, like I saw it too."
Yeah.
Like this is a real thing. And then 4 women have also reported just general kind of aggressive sexual behavior, either in person or over the internet, to the point where they felt uncomfortable and had to block him or cut off contact.
Oof.
And that time ranges from when they were in college to like very, very recent. So all of these range from like allegations to things that actually have like proof.
Mm-hmm.
And so either way, there's truth in this.
No, yeah.
Yeah. There's truth somewhere in here. There's no way that this is like a coincidence or that these women want money or fame. Like, Leo ain't shit anyway, so what are they getting from like
no,
not getting
there's
anything
nothing,
from it.
no gain. No.
There's no gain from this. So where Leo done goofed and really fucked his shit all the way up is his initial response to Becca and his quote-unquote apology that he put out. So firstly, when this whole story broke and Becca was posting all this stuff and people were like, what is going on? This is crazy, he posted an Instagram story of him laughing and smirking and a chorus of girls in the background saying, "We love you, Leo."
What?
That was his first address of this stuff that was happening. So imagine that. In the midst of Becca posting these, like, screenshots and all this shit, this is his response. Like, his first immediate response.
That's
is to just laugh off.
so disgusting.
Disgusting. Right. It's just to laugh at it. Imagine if Garrett did this shit.
Oh, my God.
If Garrett's first response to the IG scandal was to get onto
Him
his
laughing.
story and be like, I love immigrants, or like some bullshit. Like,
Oh, my God.
This is what Leo did.
Yeah.
It's essentially what he did.
Yeah.
He also, so just more on his response, he also sent Becca a cease and desist and also sent several of the women cease and desist. And then he attempted to, Becca said they had like a DM conversation going back and forth. He attempted to kind of like ruin her credibility and was claiming that she was a child molester and an animal abuser.
Oh.
I don't know.
A child
She
molester.
didn't go into detail on the DMs, but they were having a battle in DMs and he was really coming for her neck. So that's just the context of the Leo shenanigans. Now, do you remember the show Best Week Ever?
No. What? No.
What? On VH1? You never watched that? Best Week
I
Ever? And then they had
never
like Best Year Ever. It was a weekly show where they literally recapped pop culture for the week.
Oh.
And then at the end they're like, who had the best week ever? And it could be like Justin Bieber for his new like video or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
So anyways, in that same vein, I have to say that men as an entire species are having the worst year ever.
The worst.
The worst.
Garbage.
We literally have a garbage pail as a president who verbatim said that he grabs women by the pussy.
Oh yeah, sexual
because
abuser.
he can.
Yep.
Admitted sexual abuser. Like, this is the world, this is the country that we live in. And here's my thing, which can be a little, I don't want to say controversial, but maybe not everyone agrees with this, but whatever. I firmly believe that almost every man walking on this earth has an experience where they disrespected a woman in some way.
Aww.
From catcalling to sending like inappropriate texts to even something like what we would say quote unquote innocent. I'm standing in a bar, minding my business, and some guy kind of just like grabs my hip. And for him that's innocent, but for me, you're touching my hip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No.
Like,
Yeah.
like I'm thinking like very casual kind of moments that we kind of like would be deemed as innocent, but happen.
Yeah.
And so, as women, I feel like we've been socialized to let a lot of shit go, let a lot of things slide, which is why I say men, I feel like most men on this earth have done something that was disrespectful to a woman. And so we've been conditioned to kind of let things slide, anything that, you know, makes us uncomfortable with a guy, we don't always speak on it, to the point where guys don't even know half of the shit that we go through.
Yeah.
Or half of the shit that we've had to encounter. And I think that there are so many men walking on this earth like Leo who probably right now in 2018 with this hashtag #MeToo movement, you know, they're viewing us as just a bunch of oversensitive women who just need to chill out. How, and I've heard this like narrative, men are like, I don't even know what I'm allowed to do anymore. Like I'm afraid, like what am I even allowed to say to, they might cry rape or blah blah blah. And it's like, what I think is so great about this movement and this whole scandal with Becca, as messy as it is, as like very informal as it is, it's like Instagram DMs, like screenshot, like the shit's a mess, is that we're exposing the levels of sexual harassment that as women we just put up with a lot, and it's not acceptable, and it's not fair that only rape is taken seriously by men.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, I'm very sensitive to bullshit with men. I have a very low tolerance for just men in general, like from catcalling on the street. Like I hate that shit. People laugh off dick pics and things like that stuff really fucking irks me, like, to my core. And I don't think that we should be accused, or Becca should be accused, or whatever, of being too sensitive. You motherfuckers need to stop harassing our existence.
Yeah.
Act like you've been raised by a woman or a parent or guardian with some type of moral compass.
Parent or guardian?
Yeah.
Somebody.
And so, like, what makes it interesting about reality TV is now you have these men who are taking a huge risk by going on national television, opening up their world, opening up their lives, potentially to scrutiny, to, America back home, all the internet trolls who are literally for a living just trying to find any evidence
or
of
not
you being
even.
a racist.
They sitting there at their little job, they have a computer and free Wi-Fi, and they're going to sit there and get to typing because they don't have a project this week. And next thing you know, they found your court documents.
Right. Your court documents, or your old dusty tweets, or your old photos from college where you did some sexist shit.
Yeah.
And so one would think, like, if you knew that you had some skeletons in your closet or things to hide, then, like, why go on television? But what's disturbing about all of this is that these guys, like Leo, Garrett, Lincoln, I don't know what the Lincoln fuck was thinking going on television. But these guys have no self-awareness and live so squarely in their white privilege and their male privilege that they have no awareness of the trash bags that they are.
Yeah, they don't consider it like a danger.
No.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh, what? Some girl from college is saying that I, like, touched her once inappropriately? Oh, please. Like, that's so, like, so, like, they just brush that shit off. And it's like, no, all of this gets to be taken seriously. Period. And so it just shows, like, the producers of the show, they have a tough job in casting.
Yeah.
Moving forward, casting, like, squeaky clean guys, because most men out here ain't squeaky clean.
I know. Well, and I think also, going back to what you said about rape, I think that's why rape culture is what it is and why it has the name that it has. So that people pay attention. Because otherwise well, it's proven, people do not pay attention to the term sexual harassment.
No. That to them is like, whatever.
Yeah.
That's like a little HR discrepancy.
Exactly.
Like, but no, it's if it runs the gamut of stuff that as women that we deal with. But for men mostly, and like with the way that Leo reacted, kind of just like scoffing, it's like that same mindset that I think a lot of guys have, is that they take rape seriously. No one wants to be accused of being a rapist, but when I come forward with a story of some bullshit that you did to me in college, I don't get a voice. You know what I mean?
And they laugh it off and then also try to villainize Becca.
Right.
Which is completely insane. First of all, Becca M lives in her villain lifestyle, okay? And you should never fuck with her ever in your life. So that's first off. She don't care who you are. And then secondly, you are the one who made all these women uncomfortable, so you are the villain. You cannot turn that around on somebody else.
Nope. So that's a nice segue into Leo's apology.
Oh, jeez.
Which has got to be probably one of the worst apologies of this kind.
Wow.
Yet. So, in combination with his snarky ass Instagram story, sending all these women cease and desist, having this battle with Becca in the DMs, we get this apology. After he did all that, we get this whack-ass apology. So he said, quote, "There have been some recent stories about me that have garnered attention. I want to address them. I want to start by saying no one has ever accused me of sexual harassment. No one has ever come to me in any way and told me I made them feel uncomfortable."
Mm-hmm. That's probably true. Yeah.
Yeah, but the tone is already off.
Right.
You already coming in blaming people.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Already off.
It's not my fault. Nobody said I was a sexual abuser back to me. No. Back to my dick pic that was unwarranted. What?
Exactly. Okay. He goes on. "However, I am not a perfect person, nor have I ever claimed to be. Did I do some things in college that I would be embarrassed about now? Absolutely. Was I part of my culture, the times, movies? Yes." Here we go.
The culture.
Here we fucking go.
Movies.
Oh my god. This is like the easiest out. I've seen both white people use this kind of excuse when they're talking.
Yeah.
This is gonna get deep, but I'm not trying to relate Leo to slavery, but I've heard this.
Oh dear.
I've heard this same narrative when people talk about slavery. They're like, well, you know, those people were part of the times. It was part of the culture to own slaves.
Yes. Yeah.
It was part of the culture. And it's like, no, owning human beings is just wrong.
Yeah.
Like, why do you need to be...
No.
Why do I need to tell you? Or, like, they get an out because it was part of their southern culture. Like, fuck that.
Yeah.
It's also the same argument that I've seen guys use during... like, every year, there's always, like, a frat that...
Oh,
like,
my God.
one of their pledges fucking gets murdered because they made him chug 8 bottles of vodka or whatever. And they're like, it's the culture of binge drinking in frat society, whatever. So here he comes with his culture argument. He says again, "I have grown as a person since college. I'm not the man I was 2 years ago, let alone 14 years ago." That comment that he made talking about take my big dick, that was like 3 months ago. So, what are we talking about here?
Are you any different?
So, have you grown in 3 months? What's going on? And then ends it, "It's important for women to speak out if they feel uncomfortable or harassed. I support that. If there's anyone I made feel uncomfortable, why not come to me? ? I would love an opportunity to right my wrongs and to speak to any woman that wants to tell me I made them uncomfortable. I want to take this opportunity to better myself, blah, 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 blah."
Wow.
That's gotta be one of the worst apologies I've ever come across.
That's
of this
really,
kind.
really bad. I would have rather him just say, like, fuck you. I'm gonna keep sending dick pics.
Yeah. Just own your creepiness then. I would almost rather prefer that than this insulting ass misogynistic fuckboy apology.
Yeah, just be a predator. Just be out here.
Just live in your predator truth.
Yeah. Because that was, every single part of that was wrong.
From sentence to sentence.
Yeah, everything was incorrect.
Wrong.
First of all, no woman is going to come back to you and say you make me uncomfortable. Why don't you know that is an uncomfortable situation to put a woman in?
Yeah.
And
why do you need to be taught every step of the way?
Right. And I mean, also, this is getting really deep, but I think men just have different relationships with their sexual organs than women do. Mm-hmm. So if a woman were to send Leo an unsolicited naked picture, he wouldn't be like, whoa, this is like, she's doing a lot. He'd be like, oh, who's this again? And like, be into it. So I think the fact that he just can't even put himself in the shoes of any of the women that he has made feel uncomfortable is just so blatantly misogynistic, as you said, and terrible. Wow, Leo.
Wow.
And we'll see you on Paradise.
I was about to say, we're going to see him in fucking Paradise. Shit. We're going to get to the recap right now, actually. Yeah. He's not in Paradise yet, but he's a-coming. And now we have a whole season similar to watching Garrett being uncomfortable the whole season. Now we have to sit here and watch fucking Leo be uncomfortable. Great. All right, let's get into the recap.
Yeah, let's go. 45 minutes in. All right.
Smooth. Hour into the... You gotta put the timestamps on this one, too. All right. Bachelor in Paradise?
Yep, Bachelor in Paradise.
Get to it.
Let's do this.
So we open up... So the one thing about Bachelor in Paradise is that there are success stories from Paradise.
Okay.
You have Evan and Carly. They are married with a child.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
And they were like an unlikely love match too, because Evan was like fucking awkward and like a nerd. And Carly was not checking for him at all. And then they went on a date, and then she like fell in love with him. It was very cute. We have Jade and Tanner. They're like Bachelor royalty now. They met on Paradise, also married with a baby.
Okay.
And then there's been a bunch of other like engagements and things. A lot of shit has broken up, but there's been some more success from this here franchise than from Bachelor and Bachelorette like combined almost. So we're in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Harrison, you know, he said we're here for the Bachelor TV event we've all been waiting for all year long, is what he said. This man only speaks in hyperbole.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Always over the top. So then he says, okay, let's take a look at who we have in Paradise. So first person we see, Kendall, from Ari's season. Still with her taxidermy, still with the ukulele.
I forgot about that damn ukulele.
I forgot about the ukulele too. Still quirky. She's trying to, I guess, show another side to her is what she's saying. We got Kenny, who is 36.
Nice.
That's like grandpa status in this world.
Get out of here. He's the best. He's my favorite one.
Kenny is great. We saw, you know, that Rachel sent him home. Still, you know, a great father to his daughter who's 11 now. Because he was claiming
I thought she was in college.
He was claiming this poor little baby was 18 or whatever you were saying on the Facebook Live. She is 11. This baby girl is 11 years old.
11 years old.
We have Kevin, 34, Bachelor Winter Games, and from Bachelor Canada. He said, so remember from Winter Games, he had a little relationship with Ashley I.
And afterwards.
Yeah. And afterwards, they won Winter Games, and then were in a relationship afterwards. Well, he dropped a bomb that Ashley cheated on him with Jared.
That's wild.
We did not know that.
But you know, I was sopping it up. I was like, I knew that damn Ashley. I knew she was wrong. I knew it.
Apparently she made out with Jared or whatever when her and Kevin were still technically together.
Dating,
And now we know that Ashley and Jared are engaged and all that jazz. So, but Kevin is here and he's excited to meet Crystal, who's next up. And she's still being Crystal, still out here, her fitness, whatever. Still claiming she's wife material and that she knows what she wants. She literally sounds the same from our season, like the same little things that she says about herself, she was saying again.
I know. Yeah, she hasn't changed at all. I don't know.
No, where's the growth?
Well, her voice changed.
Voice change, yes. We heard her real voice, actually. Next was Chris R., Gospel Chris. He is ready to redeem himself in Paradise. And he's now referring himself to, I missed this, but something about a goose?
No, you didn't miss anything, because that's all he kept saying. He's like, I'm a silly goose. And then next thing you know, he's riding a blow-up goose around.
And his, like, occupation under his name is written Goose.
What? Oh my god.
Yeah. So Paradise is like way more campy than The Bachelor. So, you know, Bachelor, they have like chicken enthusiasts, all this whatever stuff. Yeah. In Paradise, everybody has like a character of some sort.
I wasn't ready.
It said Goose, which I needed more of an explanation on that because I don't know what the fuck he was talking about. We have David, who's claiming to be 26. We know this is some Benjamin Button shit, and this nigga is like 11. So fucking young. He is still living at home with his mother.
Oh my god.
Still living at home with mama.
And like getting pampered.
Getting pampered, cooked meals, doing his laundry. He said, quote, unfortunately, I can't marry my mom.
Yo, you know,
so I'm going to Paradise.
I had to walk out the room. I had to get myself a snack. I was like, I can't, I'm gonna die.
No, this is some weird shit. So he's in Paradise even though nobody asked for him. And then obviously next in the reel was Jordan, his arch nemesis, who's still out here claiming to be a professional model. And this is very shocking. He said that he was excited for Annalise.
I know, yeah.
I didn't see that coming. And he called Annalise a ray of sunshine, which is probably the last like
Yeah.
explanation for
Descriptor.
Annalise.
Yeah.
Right. Who is ray of sunshine. This girl's crying all the time and is in fear of everything. She's very grim. There's not much positivity. It's a lot of like upsetness and pessimism.
Yeah.
So we meet Annalise. We kind of recap her bumper car trauma, her fear of dogs,
I forgot
all that jazz.
about how she explained the bumper car trauma and laughed again.
Oh my god.
I laughed once again.
Oh, so funny.
Mm-hmm.
So she's here. She's cute. I mean,
Yeah,
I like her.
she's
but
fine.
Ray of sunshine. I wouldn't say that. After Annalise, we have our girl Bibiana.
Yeah.
Bibs. They showed her mic drop moment with Crystal, so reminding us that she had some drama there. Remember, she was also on Winter Games, where she dated Jordan, the guy from New Zealand. They had a breakup. So she's been through some stuff. She's here trying to find love. She is ready to put on these bikinis.
So ready.
She had me dying. She said, I'm about to kill them with my booty. She said, if my ass is blurred out, that means I'm doing something right.
Oh my god.
She was ready to turn up. She about to be the bad bitch of Mexico.
I mean, yeah, she's a Miami girl. It makes sense.
Miami girl, and I'm here for it. Right after Bibiana was Wills. Wills is here, got his cornrows in. He is saying that he's more loud and energetic and more fun than the image that we saw on The Bachelorette. So he's saying he's going to show more of that side. We'll see if any of those scenes make the editing room floor, because I'm not expecting to see much of any of you brown folks, but we'll see. Tia next. Tia is still 26 years old. Was she not 26 on Ari's season?
Yeah, she was. When's her birthday? Somebody
on?
let us know when her birthday is.
It's the same with Dean. Remember, Dean was 25
Dean
for like
was
25
25
years?
from Rachel's season until Winter Games.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Like, when do these people age? So she's here. Again, she lives in Arkansas. Ain't nobody in Arkansas, so she's ready to find love. We recapped her whole thing with Colton again, and how she still has feelings for Colton, and she's here for Colton, and Colton.
Did you see her America bathing suit?
In the opening with the cowboy boots.
Oh, and cowboy boots too? Oh my god, I didn't see the cowboy boots at the
Yeah.
bottom. Oh my god.
Living in her Arkansas truth.
Yeah.
So, so we meet a couple of the people. Then everyone's arriving to the beach. Tia's the first to come. Then Eric, your boy Eric, your husband, baby daddy.
Doing a lot of good shimmies.
Doing some shimmies. He's turned all the way up.
I love it.
So excited. He's just extra hyped to be in paradise.
Yeah.
I feel like he feels like he has more of a chance here, I think.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So I think he's excited for that he'll be sticking around longer than O'Day. Next, Kendall arrived, and then Jordan, who Tia and Kendall had already met Jordan from the spa date.
Oh, right.
On Becca's season. It's kind of funny to see how, like, who knows each other, who's met before.
Right? Who's, like, clearly been at, like, the dime or whatever.
And that's another thing that comes up in Paradise is a lot of these people, they have relationships outside the show. And so that carries into the show.
Yeah.
And so you kind of hear, like, things, so back in, like, back in New York one weekend we hooked up. And you're like, what? You hear kind of those stories. Bibiana shows up. Jordan, surprisingly, I didn't know, he surprised me with his choices of who he's into. He said he's into Bibiana. He's totally into her look. And, she's kind of feeling him out. And then Joe, grocery store Joe.
Oh my god. How he walked up to Chris Harrison was so cute.
My
How
God.
he just shook his hand and was like, I know, Twitter, it blew up.
I know. And did you hear what he said to Chris? He said, nice to meet you. I think that was the first time they literally met.
Ever met. That's so funny.
Ever met. Yeah. Because this is filmed before Final Rose, where he, like, sat on the...
Right.
Or before Men Tell All,
Yeah.
where he sat on the couch and, like, met him. So this is actually the first time he met, because he went home night one. As much as we all talk about Grocery Store Joe, he was there for one night. Like, this is huge. So he comes, obviously he hits the beach. All the girls are already intrigued by him. He's gorgeous. They don't understand how he went home so early.
Agreed.
His smile is just blinding everyone here. Wills shows up. Wills meets Wells, the bartender. That was a weird little moment.
Yeah, they made it weird.
Very weird. Chelsea, single mother from Ari season, shows up. Eric is into her a bit.
Love it.
And then people, start to couple off a little bit. Now that's, the couples are starting. So Kendall and Joe go off and have a little moment. They are talking about picnicking in cemeteries.
In the cemetery. This girl, what kind of witchcraft nonsense is she doing in LA?
I don't know.
How did she get into this? Her sister doesn't seem like this. Her sister seems like she's in space and the galaxy and the planets and numerology and Mercury and retrograde, crystals, all the rest of that. How did you get into picnics at the cemetery?
She has a lot of quirks, a lot of little quirks to her. But I feel like she reveals these quirks early to people, so that they know where she stands, what type of person she is.
Right.
It is kind of like she puts it out there to kind of like test them, throw people off. But she's like, "This is me." So you trying to chow down in the cemetery or not? So there, Kendall and Joe are kind of it's a thing that's starting to happen. Chris R, Gospel Chris shows up. Tia, she's checking him out a little bit. She says something that kind of made me laugh. She said, Chris is cute, but, could be someone better that's coming. Which was this is very much a parallel to, modern online dating.
Yeah.
Where you go on a date with somebody or you're swiping, whatever, and you're like, he's cute, okay, but there could be another one. Just
keep going.
Always waiting for the next one. Just keep going. That's why we're all single, because nobody's making decisions.
Yeah.
This is the problem. God. So all the girls are talking about how they're not looking forward to Crystal coming. And Tia, she just has a gut feeling that Crystal is going to go for the guy that she wants. Or she's going to go for the guy. Crystal's going to end up in some type of love triangle with somebody. They just feel it in their soul. Who shows up next?
Crystal.
And these girls are hella fake.
Honestly, they were like, "Oh my god, it's Crystal! Hi!
You look so cute! Oh my god, that bathing suit's so nice! Oh my god, your hair! I love your highlights! Oh my god, it's so cute!" And meanwhile, they're literally juxtaposing those with Tia in her confessional, just talking shit about Crystal.
Yep.
Talk about her voice. Y'all hear her voice? That fake ass shit. She got her real voice now. None of these girls are real friends. This is some nonsense. So, one thing we have to remember from Ari's season, Kendall and Crystal went on a 2-on-1.
Yes, that's right.
And what happens in Paradise? Joe, during that first day, was kind of in a little, not 2-on-1, but Crystal and Kendall both had their eyes on Joe. So I'm like, it's a repeat. They were right. Crystal was going to go for one of the guys that one of them liked. And what's funny is Joe said he never watched Ari's season, so he doesn't even really know about Crystal and her crazy.
Yeah. Oh, he doesn't know anyone and they're crazy.
He doesn't know anyone.
Jesus.
Yeah. So, more people arriving. Kevin arrives. Nick the White Josiah is here as well.
Why?
I don't know, and we'll get to him later because he's a weirdo.
He's nuts.
Venmo John shows up. He's just, jumping for joy.
Did you see his little intro where he was counting the money?
Yes, yeah.
I love it. I love it so much.
Love it. Nisha shows up. When Nisha showed up, somebody in the background said, "You're here?"
Yeah.
You heard that, right?
I heard that. Which,
they're shocked to see her.
Valid.
She's not choice because she also went home night one and wasn't really a fan favorite or anything. No. But I still didn't appreciate hearing that.
No, me either.
You're here? Yeah. Only the cool people make it to Paradise? Right. Fuck out of here. She deserves love too.
Yeah, you're all there together. Get out of here.
Yeah. Angela, I don't know who the hell Angela is. She's gorgeous.
I'm glad you caught her name because I was like, who the fuck is this? She kept coming on the screen. I was like, okay, girl.
Yeah.
I called her Anita.
Anita. I think they said she's from
next season.
Yeah. But also probably went home really early, so I don't really know. And then Kenny shows up.
Aww.
Kenny has a little chat with Chris Harrison, who asks the dumbest question I've ever heard. Kenny, does Kingsley, his daughter, does Kingsley know you're here? This is where Chris Harrison got my nigga, you ain't shit away.
Nice. This is a good
Just
moment.
for that dumb fucking question.
Yeah.
No, his daughter doesn't know he's here.
No.
She went to sleep and he slipped out in the night and just dipped out. And now he's in paradise. What kind of fucking question is this? This is some lazy ass hosting. I'm so mad.
It is. I can think of right now
lazy.
3 other ways to ask that question.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyways, Astrid, there's mad people in paradise.
I know, for night 1.
Saying these names. There's mad people here. Astrid from next season. Annalise comes. Jordan, remember, he's all into Annalise. He's all smitten with her. Annalise is 33 years old.
Ooh.
She ain't checking for you, Jordan.
No. Isn't he 26?
I think he's 25, 26.
Yeah, no.
So as much as he's in love with Annalise, he don't have a chance. David shows up. David and Jordan have an awkward little handshake, which everyone was talking about, but I was like, what else are they supposed to do?
Right. Is he supposed to just ignore him?
That's what I'm saying. I feel like they wanted them to ignore each other. I was like, the most basic level cordial thing you can do is just a handshake and then move on.
Right, that's it.
Like, what are y'all expecting? And then David comes and he announces that he's the last one there. So Tia, who is literally fiending for Colton, like frothing at the bits for Colton, is like, what the fuck is going on? Where's my man? So Chris Harrison comes along. He kind of announces like how this all works. Each week they go on dates. They have date cards. Each week there's also a rose ceremony. 1 week the girls will be giving out the roses. Another week the men will be giving out roses. So every week at least 1 or 2 people goes on. And so every week you have to be like in a relationship or coupled up in some way, or else you're leaving.
Yeah.
And so today there's 10 guys and 9 girls, which means all the girls are staying, and 1 guy is gonna go. So the pressure's on the guys, and I kind of like that. With each week the balance kind of like shifts, because like 1 week you'll see the guys like scrambling to talk to any girl they can get, speaking just full of empty words to these girls, even literally to like the moments before the rose ceremony sometimes, to try and get a rose. And then next week the girls are doing the same thing, so it's kind of funny. All right, so Tia, I woke up and thought of Colton and just wanted to hang out with him.
She's in love with him.
She is in love. She's existing on another plane.
Yeah.
That Colton doesn't even know. He doesn't even have the map quest to get to that plane. So
oh my God.
It's just completely different worlds. Completely different version of events.
You know what she reminds me of? The literal, actual Stage 5 Klinger from Wedding Crashers. Like the character.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. Oof. Like she has it in her head. This is her man. And she's going to do anything and everything and not stop talking about it until she gets it.
Oh my God.
Jeez. And so... she's chatting with Joe. Joe's really into Tia, actually. Joe was talking to everybody on the beach.
He was,
actually.
Because he's trying to stay. He's not trying to leave and go back to Chicago where it's cold.
Right. He's really trying to stay. He went home night 1. He's trying to actually have an experience this time around. And so he's chatting to everybody. So Tia and Joe chat. He thinks they hit it off, although he can sense that she's not over Colton.
Yeah.
Which everyone on the beach, all the guys have sensed that. So no one's really, checking for Tia in that way. But of course, first date card arrives. Who does it go to?
Obviously Tia,
who is obviously not very happy because Colton isn't here and she doesn't want to go on a date, and she's crying in her interview and stressing over this man.
This moment, I thought she was going to send herself home, and I was going to be so happy and proud of ABC. But of course not.
Nope.
No.
She eventually got it together, came to her senses, and chose Gospel Chris to go on the date.
Out of the fucking blue. Even he was like, yeah. Sure. Go on a date.
Yeah, he's like, let me go put on a shirt with me. Like, he was So you said Chris, not Joe? Oh, okay. Everybody's confused.
Yeah.
So yeah, she picks Chris. Joe was disappointed because he wanted to go with her. But instead, Joe gets to stay back and hang out with Kendall. So him and Kendall go over to the day beds. They were walking hand in hand
Aww.
to the day beds. They're kikiing. He's putting on the moves, quote unquote.
Like, it's hard to do that with Kendall.
It's hard to do with Kendall, who's just like talking about cemeteries
dead rats,
and like butterflies.
Cemeteries.
Yeah. And then Joe, as I think Diggy tweeted, how Joe, like, he doesn't have game.
No.
He doesn't need game. He just flashes a smile and he kind of just himself.
Yeah.
And so it's just the two of them, two awkward beings, just like sitting on this daybed, and like somehow it works and kind of looks cute. And eventually he went in for the kiss. It was cute. It looked like a good kiss too.
Yeah, it was cute.
I texted you immediately, like, Justine, that was such a good kiss. The behind the scenes of my deprived single ass. Oh God. So that's one little couple that's happening. Crystal and Kevin from Bachelor Winter Games, the Canadian. They're on a separate daybed, also making out and having a little moment. And then Chelsea and Nick are on a separate daybed.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So Nick, as we said, drunk on Molly, high. He's brought some type of substance.
He got a little something extra. He brought something extra in his bag, for sure.
A little extra something in them drinks, because he is just rambling nonsense, kind of complimenting Chelsea, and saying that he... Oh, no, he didn't really... He said that he's into moms. He's saying this in an interview. He's into moms, and that he thinks he would be a good role model, followed by him busting out in laughter. Because he knew that was a bold-faced lie. And so him and Chelsea are on this daybed. Chelsea's not checking for him. No. She eventually looks at him and says, "I'm going to bed."
She said she got sick.
Oh yeah, that's right. She claimed she was sick and going to bed.
Literally, you might as well say, like, you have small dick energy and I have to leave.
Oh God.
That might as well be what you have to, like.
That might as well have been it. She was trying to skedaddle.
Yeah.
Get her ass to bed. Meanwhile, quick glimpse of Venmo John making out with Annalise. Did you see that?
What? No.
If you blinked, you missed it. I caught that shit though. I caught it. My eyes are wide open for any of the POCs. And they did a quick little glimpse. Like, it was like a quick montage of like all the people who are making out. And I saw Venmo John and Annalise having a little moment.
Good for Annalise.
Very happy. Very good. Yeah, good for the both of them. So, meanwhile, Tia and Chris are on their date. Tia lies to Chris and says that, you know, with Colton, if something would have happened with him, it would have happened already. I'm here with you, and I'm not even thinking of him.
Ooh, what a lie.
Lie. And why she gets my Becky of the Week award. Tia only speaks her truth when it's to her advantage. That's what I've realized. Hate to say that, and I was 100% and still here for when she spoke to Tia about her feelings for Colton.
She spoke to Becca about her feelings for Colton?
When Tia spoke to Becca about her feelings for Colton, she was expressing her truth. I can't knock somebody for that.
Fault her for that, yeah.
Right. But she does this shit strategically too.
Yeah, she does.
So she did that for Colton because she did that to Becca because she's like, I want Colton, Paradise is coming, I need him there. She kinda on her 2-on-1 with Becca on Ari's season kinda threw Becca under the bus because she was trying to save her ass on that 2-on-1.
Yeah. Yeah.
She kinda spoke a little bit of her truth or whatever. But then here with Chris, she's lying. Talk about she's over Colton, but she knows damn well she not. When she was with Ari and they had that little talk about religion, she damn near threw Jesus under the bus. As soon as she got an inkling feeling of Ari not being very religious. She was like, "Oh yeah,
Me
I
either.
go to church sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, whatever.
Jesus, yeah, he's alright." Like, and like this is some Becky shit. You need to speak your truth all of the time, or else you look like an opportunist.
Yeah.
And I can't fault people for saying you ain't shit when you spoke your truth to Becca, because you do this shit very strategically.
Mm-hmm.
Speak it all the time or none of the time.
Right.
And that's that. So her and Chris having a good conversation. They both confirmed that they're both looking for a serious relationship at the end of the show. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, they're on the same page. They leave the dinner. There's the fireworks. They make out. She's, you know, now head over heels for Chris. And, you know, Colton who?
Oh my God, that was wild. That was wild. I was like, girl, 3 crisp hours ago, you were sitting on the beach crying because you wanted to go on this date with Colton and he wasn't there.
Yes, stomping around the house, talking to anyone who would listen to you about your Colton feelings. Yeah. And now you're talking about Colton who? Oh my God, Chris, love you. Like, so the next morning, Tia and Chris are out here. They kissing in front of people. They like a couple now, like for real. Who arrives next to paradise?
Oh, you know it. Your man's.
My baby daddy, Colton, arrives. So now Colton, he's talking to Chris Harrison before he even goes down. And he says, you know, I was very confused by Tia coming and saying her feelings to Becca. And he says that he's not necessarily here for Tia. He's here for anyone. Could be Tia.
Wow.
He's kind of,
loved her with everybody else.
Oh, Lord. But that shows you kind of the different planes that these two are on. Yeah. And how their experience together, they both interpreted that weekend or whatever in like drastically different ways. Yeah. So Chris Harrison, of course, gives him a date card.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
And Colton goes on down to the beach and meets everybody. Tia is obviously very, very nervous. Mm-hmm. So everyone's assuming, because let's keep in mind, Tia's been running around talking about her feelings for Colton. And so everyone in their head is just, I would think, just assuming that Colton's on the same page as Tia and that he's come here for her. Mm-mm. I think so, because as soon as Colton came down to the beach, everyone is expecting him to go first to Tia, and he is going off and talking to other girls.
Yeah. That's what I expected him to do.
To go talk to other girls, right? That's what I'm thinking, too, because in his head, he's like, I'm here for Tia, but I'm also here for other girls. Mm-hmm. But since Tia's been on the beach, we've only heard her side. Right. And so I think everybody on the beach is expecting Colton to also have those same strong feelings for Tia. So they were all shocked and pissed when he immediately goes and pulls, like, Kendall aside. And they're like, wait, what?
But why, logistically, would they not just work that shit out in real life? And not have to go on Bachelor in Paradise?
Right. Like, y'all meeting up in paradise. Like, y'all haven't texted since the show. Like, y'all, this is your first meeting together and first rehashing since Bachelorette is on Paradise. Like, what the fuck is this? And so yeah, he comes down to the beach. He pulls Kendall aside first. Mm-hmm. Everyone's confused. Bibiana's talking to Tia like, girl, that door is closed.
Yeah, like, she's like, no, you gotta get over it. Because this is done.
Girl. Mm-mm. Then after Kendall, Colton pulls Angela aside. Mm-hmm. They're hitting it off. And my nigga's up and down the beach grabbing everybody except Tia. And it's weird. Colton, he's not even checking for her. Mm-mm. And she's been marching around saying his name. So then suddenly, it's not even suddenly, he just off rip looks like the bad guy.
Yeah.
And doesn't really have a chance.
Right.
Never had a chance.
Yeah.
Basically, never had a chance. So finally, he pulls Tia aside, which definitely, I do agree with everybody. It came a little bit late.
Yeah, I feel like it was a producer thing.
Yeah,
they were like, just go to Tia.
Go to this person, go to that person.
Yeah.
So finally, at like 8 o'clock at night, he like goes to say hi to Tia, pulls her aside, and invites her on the date card.
Yeah.
Also very confusing.
Yeah. Also, I think a producer pick. I think they just wanted them to be together on camera. So that we could see it. So we could see what Tia is talking about. Like, did she get obviously not stigmatized, but did she get like emotionally attached to this man because of something that he was doing to her? Was he putting some sort of a spell on her?
Or something?
Yeah, like what is going on? So I was kind of, as much as I was like, oh my god, this is so predictable, I really wanted to see them together and like why she fell in love with him so hard after Weekend.
Yeah, I agree. We're done with Tia and Colton, but at the same time, we need to see Tia and Colton so we can like get to the bottom of like why she's so in love with this guy, and why is he so unattached? It seems like what is this dynamic?
Right.
So yeah, he pulls Tia aside, gives her the date card. Everyone on the island is against Colton and just doesn't trust him at all. They didn't like how he came in and talked to all the girls. They don't like how he's handling Tia. Nick the white Josiah, calls him a fame whore.
This is where Nick gets my nigga you ain't shit award.
Okay.
Because as soon as Colton walked in, that was the first guy.
He
was like, yeah, bro, what's up, man? Yeah, we're in paradise. This is great, man. And, you know, maybe you were high off that. You had Molly in your butt, whatever. But I still... It was like the same reaction that Kendall and... I was about to call this girl Katie. Kendall and Tia had with Crystal. It was the same thing. Like,
fake.
Guys,
fake as hell.
Come on, man. And then he was so weird with Chelsea, so I just had to give it to him for the whole episode.
Very true. Yeah. And so, yeah, Nick is calling Colton out. Chelsea says his only intention should be to win Tia back. Back? This line right here is what I'm talking about. How Tia has been sprouting her propaganda. Win Tia back. Colton's over here like, wait, what? We were never even a thing.
No, and also cool, he doesn't have to win shit. All he has to do is flex his bicep, and she is behind him. Like, hey,
and she's right there. Yeah. So everybody on the island just can't stand him at this point. So him and Tia go off on their dates. So now Tia's on her second date in the span of like 24 hours. She went from saying Colton ain't shit to literally the next morning she's on a jet ski with Colton. So they're reminiscing about their time together in LA and how they had the weekend and he planned everything and he cooked and they went hiking and all that jazz. And then they discuss Becca and how he told Tia, like, I was in love with Becca. Like, this was a thing.
Yeah.
And Tia asks him, like, do you think that there's a chance for us? And she basically puts it all out there. Like, I don't know what it is about you, but I keep coming back to you. You are stigmatizing me of some way, kind of.
Yeah, I don't understand this.
I'm not sure. And, like, do you think that there's a chance for us? Colton gave some wishy-washy answer.
Because he wants his options open.
He wants his options. He basically was saying yes, but yeah. It was
but
very,
you know, Anita's cute. No, what's that girl's name? Angela's cute.
Anita's cute. Typical guy.
Yeah. I mean, he's on Paradise. Like, whatever.
He's on Paradise and he can do this. Yeah. That's very true. But anyways, yeah, they go jet skiing, make it on the boat, and having a good time. Back at the beach, Chris, Nick, and Jordan, who somebody coined the Goose Squad.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're in a corner. They look like they about to mastermind, like, jumping Colton.
Yeah.
The way that they were. The way these three fucking stooges were huddled up together. Like, we gotta get him. He's a fame chaser. Like, poor T, he's, you know, digging Tia around and da-da-da-da. And it's like they literally this whole day have just been sitting here just, like, chatting shit about Colton and
trying
planning
to get him off.
some attack of some sort. Like, I don't even know. I'm like, I can't wait to see what this is because it sounds hilarious. And, yeah, everybody's up in arms, and Colton returns to the beach. The guys pull him away for a talk, and it will be continued next week.
Did he even, like, drop his bags off? I feel like they gave him the date card. He took Tia. Tia still had her, like, morning bun in her head. And they just went on his jet skis all day. He came back at night, and then they're gonna go jump him in the palm trees. Like, what is this first day?
Wild. Yeah, he didn't have a chance.
No.
He hasn't even put his bags down, and they ready to jump his ass.
Yep.
The girls are ready to, like, yeah, you play
Get
with
him!
my friend. Get him! I can't wait to see what this, like, confrontation is about to be. Because with Jordan, Gospel Chris, and Nick, who's on some other shit, like, literally, what is this about to look like? It's going to be a joke. And that was the episode, everybody.
Yeah.
They showed a preview, same tired preview they keep showing, but there was some like other little things in there. Eric and Angela, Anita, whoever.
Yeah.
I think maybe that's the girl that he's rubbing down.
I
with
love
the baby
it.
oil.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And Crystal, we see her on a date with Jordan and on a date with Kenny.
Oh, yeah,
Wasn't
that's right.
expecting
Like
that.
a wrestling date.
Like a wrestling date of some sort.
Yeah.
Did I see correctly? Is Benoit gonna be here in Paradise?
Oh my god, could you imagine? I didn't hear his crazy accent, but maybe.
I didn't see the accent, but I feel like I blinked and looked up and missed something. Like some new person came, and then the next minute it was like a scene on the beach at night, and that person was kissing someone, and it kind of looked like Benoit.
Yeah, that'd be exciting.
I'm not sure. I'll be very excited if so. We do see Jordan, Bibiana's ex from Winter Games.
Oh, right.
The dude from
Bold. Ooh.
New Zealand. Bold. Yeah, he's going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Camille, the social media
Why is he
participant.
back?
Why is he back? That's why they invited him to the mental. Because he was on Paradise.
Yeah.
So maybe Christian, the
Oh,
guy
yeah,
who was
the
like
soccer
born in Mexico,
player.
like the soccer player, maybe he is going to be in Paradise.
Yeah,
we'll see. I would like to see that. He's banging.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah. And then we see what looks like a fight that goes down. Did you notice this? A physical fight.
Altercation.
It looks like Joe and Leo.
And I am hoping for it.
And I'm hoping Leo gets stomped to bits.
Yeah, I hope he gets his ass whooped.
Ass whooped.
Yeah. And
some of the girls just jump in there like,
yeah,
that's for those tweets you sent me and that fucking dick pic you sent me on Monday.
Oh my god.
And then lastly, there's a whole scene of Colton bawling his eyes out.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a prediction on this. I feel like Colton might go home early. He might leave next week.
Yep.
I think whatever confrontation happens with the guys, and on top of every other girl on the island is going to come at him, and he's going to feel like attacked, and then want to go home. Like have a little chat with with Tia. Oh. And then go home.
Wow.
Because also in the preview, I did see another. This is me doing my frame by frame investigative work.
Okay.
It looked like a frame of Tia and Chris R making out in like different outfits on like another day. So I feel like their love story continues, which means Colton has to leave.
Yeah, right.
Colton can't be there.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's my little prediction. And yeah, that's it, guys.
Well, we see one more person who I caught at the very end. I didn't realize who this was. I think it's Olivia from Ari's season.
Yes, the black girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Whose favorite book was 50 Shades of Grey.
Yes. Oh god. And she was like 23 or something.
Yeah, baby,
like, very
child.
Young. Well, she can go have fun.
Yeah.
Find a little boyfriend.
Yeah,
for the summer. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's the episode, I think.
That's it. Yeah.
That's it, y'all. We will be back next week. Paradise is upon us. Yep. Let's bring Justine over to our team, guys.
Try to bring me back in.
You liked it. You had fun.
I didn't. But you know what? But I'm going to keep going. Keep going.
Keep going. I think it's going to be good. It's going to be messy as hell and get good, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, as always, guys, please rate, review, subscribe. If you like what you hear, please leave us a review. Hit us up on Twitter, email, Facebook. The number 2, our Twitter handle, is the number 2 BLK girls, the number 1 Rose.
And our email is the number 2 blackgirls, the number 1 Rose @gmail.com, and same with Facebook.
Mm-hmm. And see you next week. Paradise Part 2.
See you next week, guys.
Later.
Bye.